Speaker!
Inside the members' lobby, a round of applause from waiting MPs, the very least they could do as Michael Martin proceeded to his post to give them what they ultimately wanted, an announcement of his departure. When it came, it was the briefest of statements.
Order, order. Since I came to this House 30 years ago, I have always felt that the House is at its best when it is united. In order that unity can be maintained, I have decided that I will relinquish the office of Speaker on Sunday, 21st of June. This will allow the House to proceed to elect a new Speaker on Monday, 22nd of June. That is all I have to say on this matter.
And the briefest of responses from the government.
Mr. Speaker, the whole House will respect your wish that we proceed with our business today. We shall make our tributes at a later date.
Although one independent MP chose to mark the occasion in the chamber.
Bob Spink.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wonder if the Home Secretary would like to join with me the Foreign Secretary would care to join with me in paying the warmest possible tribute to you, sir, and thanking you for your service to this House and to this country over many years. A very honourable service. And I thank you myself personally, Mr. Speaker.
And that was that. MPs that had crowded the House of Commons to see their figurehead fall on his sword now headed outside to gauge public opinion.
You want to speak? Who do you want? Betty. You want Betty back? Why do you like Betty?
She kept you on controlling you, what she was doing.
Oh, he kept us under control.
People are gathering outside Parliament, not to blow it up this time, but to celebrate the departure of a Speaker. Will you be celebrating?
No, not particularly. I think he made the right decision, and I think he recognised that for a Speaker to be effective, he has to command support from across the whole House. But I think a lot of people have been trying to force Speaker Martin out, have been doing it because they want to scapegoat him for the failings of many other MPs.
The sign almost says it all, doesn't it? There does appear to be this disconnect between Parliament and the people. Does the departure of Speaker Martin do anything to remedy that?
Oh yeah, I mean the reason he went was less about him and more about the need for a new Speaker who can take a grip of the House of Commons. Going to be the most powerful Speaker in history. The first man or woman elected by secret ballot, no more deals, fixes and so on, which I'm afraid have affected some of the elections in the past. It's going to be a Speaker who has got behind them a huge tide of public anger and unrest about the Commons. And it's going to be the first Speaker that can actually say to party leaders and the Prime Minister, this will almost bang their heads together and say, this is what's going to happen, I want it, if you want to argue about it, go argue with the public.
So now that Michael Martin has announced his intention to step down on June 22nd, we now begin the battle for the next speakership. Who's going to be filling that role?
The King is dead, long live the King. Or the Speaker is retired and now let's have another one. I think the House will need some period of reflection. It's quite a good idea to leave it till June. We have to think about it. We have to think of the nature of the role of the Speaker, because the role will change. The role will be less executive. It will be more protocol and ceremony. It will not, in my view, he should not be in charge of expenses of MPs.
And all those we spoke to recognised the scale of the task that faces whoever does ultimately take up the reins.
What we have to do now is begin to win the trust and respect back for Parliament, and a new Speaker has to come forward with a new mandate and what they are going to do to ensure that Parliament is cleansed. And I would have thought, and I've got to be honest, looking round and what I've heard so far, John Bercow.
And from the man who led the campaign to force Michael Martin's replacement, no gloating, just an acknowledgement of the task ahead.
I mean, look at what you've created here. Are you happy with the result as it's finally stood?
I'm not happy at all. It's been a horrid week. I found it really unpleasant. I think it's been unpleasant for everyone. It had to be done, though. You don't clean up a cesspit without doing some unpleasant things, and I think the building behind me is not functioning properly. There's a lot in Westminster that's rotten. It's not just expenses. The way that politicians carry on, the way they exempt themselves from laws that they impose on everyone else, the way that they fail to hold powerful people to account, this needs to change.
That's an awful lot for one Speaker to accomplish, yet the anger directed at our elected representatives demands a proportionate response.
Well, as you can see, the crowds that gathered to hear of Michael Martin's departure have now departed themselves. Those MPs so keen to talk to us after that statement, no longer in front of the cameras, instead back inside of the Houses of Parliament discussing who will be next. Will it be Alan Beath, John Bercow, Sir Mingus Campbell, perhaps another name? That still hangs in the balance.
Michael Martin announced his departure to restore faith in the role of Speaker. Those who demanded that resignation must make good on their promise and act quickly to clean up the expenses mess that still remains. Neil Patterson, Sky News, Westminster.